Happy January, everybody. Happy New Year. This is our first live of 2025. And we have a super cool guest on today, Jenny Fuller, woman of many talents, coming to us from Dallas, Texas. So give us a second. Let's get Jenny on. Let's see, Jenny Dean Fuller. And in a second, we'll have Jenny on. So I'm coming to you from Sarasota, Florida. I'm still trying to get back to the factory. Oh, hang on. So the polar vortex has kept us out of Missouri for quite a while now, actually. Here's Jenny. Jenny, you want to accept the invite I sent you, and then you can pop on here? Okay, I think she joined. Do I click, like, just go live with Jenny?
Uh-huh.
I click that.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, we got Jenny coming on. So yeah, the polar vortex has really messed up everybody's travel plans, including mine. So I'm actually coming to you from Dr. Lawrence's house here in Sarasota, Florida. Dr. John Lawrence is, of course, Mr. Mito Zen, and we carry some of his products. Okay, here's Jenny right now.
There she is.
Hello.
Hi,
Hey.
Jenny. Let's turn you up so we can hear you a little bit better.
You guys are
Okay.
so cute together.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jenny. You look like you're staying warm.
I know. It is miserably freezing cold. What were you saying, Brian, about the vortex and all that?
That I expected to go back to Missouri to start the new year and everything last Friday, and my plans got canceled. Everybody's plans got canceled. All the flights got canceled, and we've been stuck
I
in
know.
Florida for the whole week. So it's been kind of nice. Actually, it's been pretty warm here. A little cold yesterday, but
Oh,
you
so
know,
you guys don't have the snow or anything?
no, none of that here. They don't deal with those
Nice.
things in Florida. They're blessed.
It was
Yeah.
about 48 degrees.
That's cold for Florida.
Yeah.
Cold as it gets, but then it was 70 degrees the day before.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly. Well,
really
it
nice
is.
now.
It's cold out there now. You
Yeah, I
got. You
hope.
missed the. You don't miss Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, I always miss Texas. I love
Really?
Dallas.
Oh,
But yeah,
good for
yeah,
you.
I'm grateful to have kind of missed some of that. But we'll be going back today, so we'll catch the tail end of it. Anyway, so how are
Nice.
you? This is pretty cold in your house. I see you got your ski hat
Yes.
on.
Yeah. And look, I have my sauna light right there.
Oh, lovely.
Yes. I'm obsessed with that thing. Um,
Me
yeah,
too.
no, all things have been good. I'm ready for the kids to go back to school and to get life going back to normal.
Amazing. So let's kick it off. I actually had you on. When was it? Last year?
Actually, technically, she had you on
Or
her
I was on.
Instagram. Yeah.
So we had a nice live
It's
quite a
good.
while back, and we're rejoined by the magnificent Jenny Fuller now. So if you would introduce everybody or introduce yourself to everybody
Okay.
real quick.
Okay. Yes. So Mila and I go way back with yoga teacher training and all the things, but I have who am I? I am a mother, a wife. I'm on my second marriage. I was married for 15 years before and I had two kids, and now I'm on my second with the whole blended family, all the hard stuff in that. I used to own a yoga studio and like a fitness studio, and both under one roof. And I did that for 3 years. And that was where like my passion turned into my pain. So I kind of learned a lot through all that. And now I am on the other side of that, and I just train people at home. I do online like Bible studies, and I'm big in community. I love to build community. And now I'm just kind of building from scratch, starting all over again at 44.
Beautiful. Isn't that just exactly how life is? It's this
Yeah.
constant rebirth as we go through seasons, and we think we figure out who we are, and then we are given our next challenge. God gives us our next challenge and says,
Hmm.
okay, let's see what you're made of.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh wow, this goes deeper. And I'm shedding
Deeper.
layers and rising as the phoenix. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're in a rebirth right now. So
Yeah.
we're in according to depending on what calendar you follow,
Yep.
we're in the new year now, and it's a great time to talk about rebirth and renewal, and of course New Year's resolutions. We I also didn't know about this until recently about this idea of dry January. So
Uh-huh.
people like to clean up for January, and it's a great time to do so. So it's a great time to talk about, New Year's resolutions and kicking off things, in a new way, especially after engorging ourselves with food and
I
products
know. Yeah.
over the holidays, as we're
Yes.
wont to do in the U.S. So, so yeah, here, go ahead.
yeah, and just to expand on that, we're really excited about a couple of things that we'll definitely chat with you about. Our brand new launch of our Pure Layer Essentials bundle, which just happens to coincide with Dry January. So we'll get to that a little bit later. But even more importantly, why we wanted to bring Jenny on, and as she had mentioned, we do go way back 2016. Jenny
Mhm.
was one of three incredibly talented yoga teachers who helped with my training. So she was one of my mentors. I've taken her classes, for years. Over the years, she's extremely influential, and I love that you mentioned how much you appreciate and prioritize community, because that's what I think of whenever I think of you, is you really draw people in. So even before social media was a thing, and being an influencer, you truly are an influencer in every meaning of the word, which just by you being, you invite people into elevating their lifestyle by cleansing their body. I feel like that was definitely one thing I've observed from you is being dedicated and disciplined with your routines, and really cleansing your temple and keeping that a high priority, and then watching as that influences all the other parts of your life. So we really were excited to have you on today because of this, because we thought you were the perfect person to talk about all of these things, since you're just such a beautiful example of uh, all the things that we like to re-engage with in the new year. And I'd like to kind of talk about it in a different light, because sometimes we can beat ourselves up and wear ourselves out with these super high expectations when uh, the timing comes
Mhm.
for the new year, or these different milestones that tend to be trendy to get on the bandwagon. But instead, really establishing a rhythm and a lifestyle, and how you can incorporate that in the longevity of your lifestyle,
Mhm.
not just a quick hit and then you drop off. So I really wanted to set the tone for that, since we're kind of stepping away from just saying New Year's resolutions, just keeping that kind of out of our verbiage going forward, and being a little bit more intentional about how we're speaking and how we're creating our reality. And one of those things being creating positive intentions daily, because really that's what we're looking at, is every day. That's all you have is today.
So let me follow. First of all, thank you for that nice introduction, Mila.
Of course.
I started something because, so you kind of know, I was in a valley. I had a studio, and I would say I was on the mountaintop, and thought that that was my end all be all. Well, if God isn't number one in something, He will completely remove it, and that is exactly what happened. He was not number one, so it was completely gone. Completely felt like my identity, everything was dropped in me, and it took me a good 10 months, 12 months maybe, to like come out, to come really just be Jenny again. So I'm there now, but I had to go through a lot of hard work. But I went through that hard work. I journaled the whole thing in 2024. So now I'm like so ready to teach it. So I have a free Facebook community right now, and this goes along with what you're saying, Mila. I don't believe in resolutions. I don't believe in that crap because I have been through, so, like, just being a teacher, being a person that saw people New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I see completely different people, just starting the first of the year. And I can already tell you, you're not going to do your resolution, right? You quit on the first day. So that I don't agree with. I feel like it's a lot harder and you set yourself up for failure if you do that stuff. So in this community group, and this is funny, I started it in December of just a month ago. And I said, we're going to do a challenge every 30 days, every year. And I'm going to do it till the end of 2025. Our first challenge, I started it in December for a purpose. It was no complaining. I don't want you to complain. And if you complain, no, it was no cussing. No cussing and no complaining. It was both of them. And I'm telling you,
Mm.
these women, they thought, I mean, just to hear yourself no complaining for one day, 24 hours of no complaining is so difficult to do. Like even about the traffic, the weather, anything. And they all, went through the pain of it. And then they would be like, complaining is contagious, like all the lessons they learned. If you're around someone that's complaining, they're all going to be complaining. So they learned a lot in December. January, of course, is dry January, which is really hard when you have snow days because I think most people are just, indulging. But I'm on there and I'm like trying, like, what's going on? What's keeping you up? What are you doing instead of dry January? And then our next one is going to be no Amazon. Remove the Amazon button from your phone in February for 28 days. And they are
Mm.
flipping out. But my goal is to teach them you can do hard things, people. Like we're so, I don't know if I call it lazy, but like these women that I'm trying to help, I would say they're all above 45, the women that come to me. And I hear the same things is, man, I used to eat this, or I used to never work out and I look like this. And it's all kind of hitting them at 40. And it's like, what did you do the decade before? Like they're not setting themselves up for success. And the sauna comes into that for me because I'm doing that daily. Like there's not one day I miss if I'm in town. Do I not miss that sauna? And that's because that's me time. Like it's not for, oh, look, see, my sister's on here. Yeah, she's not going to do the Amazon app. She's the worst one about that. But Jill bought a sauna. Yay, Jill.
Yay, Jill.
And what
We
I
love
use it
Jill.
for, Mila, is Jill's got 5 kids. I got 3 teenagers. Leave me the F alone in this 20 minutes. And no one wants to come in there because you're naked and you're sweating. So it's like your alone time. And I do it in the morning because it sets up my day. I literally plan my day. I pray in there. I do everything I can. And I don't have that free time anywhere else in my day. I don't have 20 minutes, Anyway, so Jill's on there. And I also do a vision board instead of the New Year's resolution. So if you see, I have my vision board behind me. And this is my office. And I say that, I look at that thing every single day and I say all of it to myself. And
Yeah.
that is how you
Tell
will
us a
get
little
it.
bit more about that. So, what is a vision board to you? And
So a
what's
vision
the
board for
intention
me.
behind it, and like, how do you use it?
Okay, how I use it. Here's what I think people do, and I've been making these for years, Brian. I think people make them, they're fun, they're cute, and they just put them away. They will never look at them again. That's you just wasted your time. You just wasted an hour making your vision board. And so mine is here every single day. I have to read that to me, and that is already putting it in my brain of what's going to happen. I did it in 2024, and I just checked off everything that happened in December. So I
Mm.
really do believe in what you're manifesting, what you're putting out there in your brain is already going to happen.
Mm. Yeah, that's so interesting. I actually have been inspired to do a vision board. We've been wanting to do a vision board for a long time, and we just need to make sure that we prioritize doing that because I really believe it is so powerful. What you're consuming on a daily basis really
Mhm.
contributes to your reality. So that's the things that you're seeing. That's the things
Yeah,
that you're
and
you're
I
hearing,
also
things that
I
we're
do a
saying.
lot. Like these are my financial affirmations. I literally go over it. I mean, it's all scripture based, but it's literally in my head every single day. I have to set my days up like that.
So beautiful and so inspiring.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
so powerful. You know, our are we're conditioned to think that our actions are the most important thing. Like get up, work hard, do this series of actions methodically in a plan to achieve a goal. And perhaps that's not the case. Perhaps our thoughts are actually way more impactful on reality than our actions are. And so yeah, like instead of filling our heads with social media content and TV
Yes.
and stuff like that, filling your like what could be better to fill your mind with than yourself, than your own intentions, your own things that you love, things that you relate to, and what you're doing in the morning is it really is such a powerful practice. And taking that vision board, putting it front and center and things, and saying, look, this is not just what I want to do. This is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I actually already have these things. I'm just
Yeah.
accumulating evidence from the universe and manifesting this reality, in every moment.
Yes.
Yeah, and especially, I think what's also powerful is tying your spirituality into it as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is the essence of who we are, and to remember that we are divinely created and we have creativity divinely in us.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that the same power that manifested everything that we can see around us is inside of us.
Yes.
Hmm.
And you doing your vision board is exercising that power.
Yes.
Yeah, and
And
we don't want to be doing pro. We don't want to be following programs and doing things that other people decided. We really want to do what comes from the heart, what comes from within, and being intentional about that, like with the vision board and even with basic affirmations, is is taking control of the script, taking control of our reality, and not letting someone else, whether it's an institution like the media or just someone around us,
right.
even the people around us whom we love, not letting them set the tone for our reality, but for us to do it ourselves.
Yes, that's huge. Yeah. Like if you're ever, I've been with someone who tried to like form me into, what they wanted it. And you're not you don't live purpose driven. You don't wake up and feel good in your heart when you live that way. So I'm very big on like people finding their purpose in life, like what aligns with them in anything they do. Like I'm so done with society tells us to work 8 to 5. Let's do that just because of, what they say for us to do. Done with
So
that.
let's talk about January. So you're in this 30-day challenge, right? No cussing
Mhm.
and no complaining.
Mhm.
Seems like a simple request.
And no drinking, which is very hard for a
And no
lot of people.
drinking.
Yeah, well, it's amazing. I love your approach at taking these bite-sized things instead of thinking of all of this stuff that I'm going to start doing right now and I'm going to continue doing it for the whole year, focusing on the things that will make a significant difference if you can commit to that one, two, three things. Cussing and no complaining, that ties back to what we were saying about creating our reality. And if we're constantly complaining or we're adding to negativity, that's also what we're bringing into our field.
Yeah.
So that's really, really powerful.
Yeah,
Yes.
and beyond that, it doesn't add anything. It's a complete waste of energy. Like what is accomplished by complaining?
It's
What
actually draining your field.
Yeah.
in what is accomplished by cussing? Really, like even letting filler words enter into your vocabulary are all these depletions of energy, these uses of our power and our energy that don't do anything, right? And so
Right.
to conserve that and to be more intentional and thoughtful, a part of that is also like looking inward and thinking about, well, what am I trying to say? Who am I trying to be?
Mhm.
Do I want to be that person that just complains? It certainly it doesn't serve me, but also the people around you. Like, when you hear a complainer, you're like, it's a
You notice
drag. so
it. Yeah.
so it's a negative influence on yourself and everybody around you. And yet we're definitely programmed to complain. It's part of the conditioning we have to give away our power and let others decide for us. Is I can't do anything. I can only sit here and complain. And the reality is we're totally unlimited, but we need
Yeah.
to take that power back and not let others, decide for us. And taking that is such a simple thing. And it's not surprising, but also very interesting to me that it's so challenging,
I,
for
I
each
know.
group.
I
Well,
know. Try it. 24 hours of it is, and then like something will stop you like from complaining. Like you'll be used to it, and then you'll be like, nope, you're not going to say that. That means you really got the habit down. Like you're catching your own self before you do it. That's what you really want.
yeah, it'll see even just habit reflex of in
Yeah.
a conversation and saying, "Oh, that sucks," or "Oh, I hate that." You're like, "Wait, that's actually
Yeah.
right there," and adding to the complaint. So,
Right. So I'm just trying to get people to like take ownership back of themselves. There's so many women, I think it happens around 45, and I'm 44, and I do feel it. Like you're kind of like, I have spent these many years, on everybody else, with your children, with your husband. Now it's your time, right? And you don't feel good. You feel like crap. You don't want to get out of bed. And you're like, I used to go on that long walk, or I used to do that run, and I don't want to do it. So I want to motivate women and be like, you get to gift yourself this. You get to gift 20 minutes in a sauna that like that's luxury in my opinion, right? Like I want them to learn, put a weighted vest on when you're out walking. Like you are worth it. You are worth it to take care of yourselves. And I don't want them to just get 55 and like wake up and just feel worse. You will feel worse every single day we get older if we're not doing something about it.
Yeah, the concept of self-worth, I, yes, it probably kicks in sometimes in midlife,
Yeah.
maybe in a middle age, midlife crisis, but I think it also is something that afflicts all ages.
mhm.
This issue of self-worth that when it's not there, when you don't know yourself and you don't remember how amazing you are, um, leads to doubt and then a lack of motivation for self-care. And
Right.
there's definitely resurgence in self-care, I would say, definitely since the pandemic, where people were like forced to figure out, wow, how do I take care of myself, because I can't even go out and do what I used to do.
Right.
And so there is this resurgence, but still the predominant culture, I think, in the US is just to not care for yourself. It's to be the rescuer in the drama triangle, to take care of others, whether you're a mom or you're a provider or both, or whatever else. It gets totally lost in the shuffle. And it's the number one most important thing, because when we take care of ourselves, we become really powerful, and we have energy, and we have so much we can give.
It's this misconception that taking care of ourselves is selfish. And
Yeah.
so we're spending all of our energy elsewhere, and it's actually draining us. And what we're able to give is not as beautiful because you're not taking care of first. When really, if we all took time, even if it was 20 minutes a day, to get yourself aligned,
Yeah.
check in with yourself, care for yourself, then you're going to be that much better in every role that you perform.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about sauna space, is it can be only 20
Yeah.
minutes. Especially if you have the super sauna. I think you have one now, right?
I
You
only
have
have
the
the
seven
four
bowls.
light one.
She
Okay.
has
But
a
here's what I
seven
do.
quartet, yeah, outside.
Here's
Yeah.
what I do though. I put it on immediately because I do this first thing in the morning, and then I go on a walk. And then that's about 45 minutes where it's like heating up and I'm freezing from my walk. And my most favorite thing is like to get in that sauna. Like that's my whole walk. That's my whole reason I'm walking. And it's hotter than hell. Like within 6 minutes, I swear I'm in like buckets of sweat, which I feel amazing.
Wow.
So amazing. But you
Yeah.
also have the hearth quartet on its own outside that you
Yes.
utilize in
Okay.
conjunction with
Okay.
some of your workouts
Yes.
and for
Yes.
training, right? Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Here's my sister asking, how long should we stay in the sauna if it's not the super sauna? That's a good question.
Great question.
Yeah. Well, do you listen? If you do have the time, you can preheat it. like Jenny does, and then your session will be faster. You know, the air is helping to contribute to heating the body. If you don't preheat in the standard sauna, it's like, 35 minutes, 30 minutes. So usually we say like 25 to 40 minutes. If you have the super sauna though with 7 bulbs, you really don't need to preheat ever at all, and your session's only like 15 minutes. It's extremely fast. But
I'm
even
done in 12.
yeah, some people are done in 12. Even those two scenarios, it's like either 15 or 30 minutes is all you need, and you do it every day. But if you were able to even just do it like 3 times a week, that's only an hour and a half a week. That's like the one of the most impactful things you could do for your health, like in an hour and a half a week. It's time that really everybody has, and I love what you said. I also I feel the same way every time I go into my sauna. I'm like, what else can I stack in here? And so
Yeah.
I have this really cool crystal meditation ball that I use, and I've been doing a combination of a guided meditation and a prayer lately, and I use some of Dr. Laurence's. We're actually at his house right now, coming to you from there. So, Blue Eyes is methylene blue eye
Yeah.
drops that you can put in your eyes that we actually just recently started to sell on our website. And you can also take methylene blue orally. We sell Dr. Laurence's Lumitol Blue, but I want to make sure I activate as much as possible, like all of my senses.
Yeah.
So I usually have some essential oil that I put on, and something I can smell, and then something I can taste. Sometimes it'd be like breath honey, which we also sell. It's this really cool like peppermint honey spray that activates your throat chakra, and it has this kind of
It
cooling opening effect to the lungs. It's beautiful. And then of course some type of meditative track or something. So you, as much as possible, stacking all these things, activating all the senses, and then on top of all that, having the intentionality of meditation or prayer. It makes for this super supercharged session, that just whoa, it just wakes you
Yeah.
up and brings you into the now, and whatever else you do in the day is like totally
I
enhanced.
agree. And I dry brush in there, Brian. I mean, when else are you going to dry brush? Like actually take the time to really dry brush. I
Yeah.
swear. So I have a couple questions that people did respond to my Instagram. Okay.
Yeah.
And this Mila, I feel like you and I have talked about this.
Mhm.
Breast implants. Tell me, I always wear a sports bra.
Uh-huh.
Like, do I need to be wearing clothes if I have breast implants? What will that heat do to me? Do I need to be changing directions 24/7? Like, keep turning? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, this is a great question. It's a complex subject. So
We're very glad you brought it up.
you can, if you don't want to ever heat anything directly, you can always cover it up. So sports bra or a towel or whatever, it's not going to directly heat any implant, whether that's a breast implant or like a metallic implant or a face, whatever kind of implant people have. We even have customers who have chemical ports, because they've been on or doing chemotherapy, and that's like a plastic port
Yeah.
that's used, and so they'll cover that up with a towel, and we've always considered that like the best recommendation. Um, the the breast implant question though is a little more complex than that actually, because breast implants, of all of the implants out there, they the more they're researched, the more it appears from the research that they're quite toxic to the body, generally speaking, and so the body has these implants inside that are foreign, and when we detox, we're trying to remove the foreign things out of us. So we're trying to whatever it is, the body wants to just be in its pure natural state. So
Which is beautiful because the body is so divinely created and so intentional that it's trying to remove anything that could be a threat.
Right.
So we have to remember with these things, taking it from a lens of not my body doesn't love me and my body's trying to protect me.
Yeah.
yeah, totally. So the body wants to detox the implant is really what's going on, and it can't because it's such a large thing, you know, an implant. So um, the you know it's a tough conversation. Ideally, you wouldn't have an implant at all. You know,
Mhm.
it's we know that implants are toxic to the body, whether or not we're doing sauna. But and so some people will say, well, don't use the sauna if you have breast implants because the body will accelerate. It's trying to detox the implant. But on the other side of it, if you do have a breast implant, the body is already dealing with a toxic load. Just like
Whether you're in the sauna or
whether
not.
you're in the sauna or not, just like if you have Botox, the body is
Yeah.
trying to like get rid of that. And so I think that the sauna is, and this is my anecdotal opinion. I'm not a medical doctor. I don't give medical advice, but I think it's one of the best ways if you do have breast implants to like support continual renewal of the body, continually detoxing any of these like microparticles that come off of the implants that, and go into the bloodstream, basically, and go into the body. The body wants to cleanse itself, and we know that the other than like a gut cleanse, like
Hmm.
sauna is the most powerful way to activate cellular and full body detoxification. So everyone needs to make their own decision on what to do, but a couple practical tips are definitely to cover it up, you know, as a sports bra, like you do. Another thing you can do
In the
is
sauna space sauna
in
specifically.
the sauna space sauna because the heat is coming from the light itself. When when we use any type of clothing that's thick at all, it's going to completely block any direct heating. The only heating is coming in directly, like basically from the air. The other thing you can do though is not face the lights. So instead of facing the lights a quarter of the time or the third of the time or half of the time, you can, for the most of your sauna session, just have your back and your side facing it so that um, you know you have even less direct heat on the
Yeah.
torso. But yeah, the reality is when you get in the sauna and you stay in there for half an hour, you're heating up your core temperature of your whole body, even if it's indirect, just like a regular sauna. You know,
But it's important to add to this conversation too that uh, there are a lot of different lifestyle um, things to participate in that you're doing the same thing, heating your body. That's spending spending time in a hot summer day
Yeah.
in Texas by the
yeah,
pool,
yeah,
being in a
being in the
hot tub,
sun.
being in a tub.
We know there's a unique power to sweating passively in the sauna versus like going outside and taking a jog. It's a different type of sweat. The body, when it's resting and sweating, gets into a very strong healing, like detox mode. But yeah, so that's kind of my complex answer. I hope I brought some clarity
Yeah.
to it. I think in general, everybody needs sauna, not just for that, but for so many other things, and it's only to your benefit, in my opinion, to
Okay.
use
I
it.
think that was a great answer. I think, yeah, you have to kind of go on whatever you feel like. And I kind of do that, what you're saying, Brian. I do side. This is another question, back pain. So, say someone has like a neck, a cricked neck. Would you tell them to just sit directly, like have the sauna behind them? Does it help with pain when it's directly on like the side of pain?
Yeah, yeah, it does. If you look at both heat therapy and light therapy research, people usually get an immediate reduction in like cardiovascular pain, like muscle and joint
Okay.
pain, pretty much immediately. And the best
Yeah.
way to do that is to light up the area of concern. So if I got a crick in my neck, I've got soreness in my neck,
Mhm.
I would spend most of the time with my back uh, to the sauna so that the light is directly hitting that area, and that's something that yeah most people report pretty immediately, like wow that joint pain, that muscle pain I had in my it's reduced, it's gone away.
Right. Right. Okay. Do you see that question? Botox and fillers. She wants to know if it detoxes.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes, the answer is yes. It sauna is activating a cellular detox mechanism called the heat shock proteins. And these little guys help the cells remove toxins from the cell, any type of toxin, whether it's a chemical, a plastic, a nanoparticle, nanotech, heavy metal, or or like a pharmaceutical drug, which is all that stuff is, it's all lab made, either based on petroleum or based on venoms and other crazy things. It will absolutely help the body detox that, especially if you're combining it with the dry brushing, because you're with that you're doing this like mechanical lymphatic massage when the toxins come out of the heat shock proteins help the toxins come out of the cells and they go into the lymph, and then they go either to the blood or you sweat it out, and if it goes to the blood it kind of recirculates, some of it goes to the bowels and stuff, but you're supporting your body's elimination in more than one way that way. So yeah, what you're doing is I highly recommend that. If you traditionally you dry brush before a sauna, so you like go in the shower and dry brush the whole body really vigorous and then get in the sauna
Yeah, that's when your skin is dry.
when your skin is dry.
And it
Yeah.
feels a little abrasive for someone who's never tried that before. And I will say, uh, if you follow Ayurvedic perspective, it can also be not advised for Vata dosha. So those are people who are really sensitive and maybe more anxious, prone to anxiousness. So that's that's actually most of our Western culture. We've got a huge Vata imbalance because we're all going, like doing all of this. So we need less stimulating things. So yes, but traditionally in Ayurveda, that's how you would do dry brushing.
And it's also not just for lymphatic activation. It's actually the best way to cleanse your skin, way better than soap or anything else, is that vigorous, repeated dry brushing like every day. It will it will cleanse the dirt off your skin and exfoliate, so knock off the dead skin cells better than anything else. And if you want like really glowy skin, getting into a dry brush routine. But yeah, what I've observed anecdotally, also personally, and just in the sauna space community is yeah, you can actually do it in the sauna even when you're sweating. You get great results. You can actually do it in the shower afterwards if you prefer, and you'll also get great results. But it's just such a no-brainer thing to do. It only, even spending like 1 or 2 minutes doing it is amazing.
It's a habit, though, I don't think most women do.
Right. No. And dry brushing actually has been shown to help with reducing the look of cellulite.
Yes.
So for women who have those concerns, it's a great habit to start incorporating. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing that you do it in the sauna because you're not necessarily looking for the the cellulite protection on your body, but it will stimulate exfoliation and stimulate the lymph. And help with the circulation. So it actually might even be better for you whenever it's paired with your own sweat.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and that's why we actually include a dry. We include an exfoliating brush with every sauna, because I just feel we didn't originally do that, but I felt like, wow, this is so important. It's a time honored tradition in every sauna culture, and then the research, like you say, it really backs it up. So dry brushing is key. But let's go ahead and there's a great question here we just got from Karen. So, can you speak more on joint replacement and hip replacement? So
First, before we jump into this, I want to mention we have a ton of customers who currently have implants of all kinds. So when we shared all of that, like, we're not trying to scare people away. We want to be as truthful and give as many facts as possible. But we have so many customer testimonials of incredible improvement in symptoms and just overall lifestyle utilizing the sauna regularly. That being said, for some of the more aesthetic things, if you're really trying to reduce your toxic load, then that's just something that you have to consider. How do you want to go about that?
Yeah, we have thousands of customers who are using the sauna with breast implants and joint implants and face meshes. And I myself have an implant. I have a ceramic implant in my mouth, ceramic tooth implant. So
replacing your root canal.
Yeah, it took out my
root canal removed.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. I'm going to do a blog article on it. I have all the pictures from it. It was just disgusting. Like what was in there in the root canal when we removed it. But yeah, so we're all, this is the modern age. A lot of implants out there. So many sauna space customers are using them. Um, with joint implants, usually they're metallic, like titanium, and uh, and if you leave it uncovered, sometimes people with metallic implants can experience a warming sensation where the implant itself is being heated up a little bit. So if you do experience that and that's not desirable for you, you can, just like we said before, you just cover it up, with a towel or whatever. And um, and like I said, so many people in our community have implants and are getting so much benefit from the sauna. So it's not a contraindication per se. You'll want to consult with your healthcare provider, of course, but so many examples in the community of all these types of implants, including hip implants and joint replacements of the knee, of the hip, the shoulder, so forth.
Yes, dry brush towards the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Karen asked, do we dry brush toward the heart or just upward? Well, we're doing it towards the heart, which is usually upward. For everything below the heart, for the arms, it's toward the heart because we're trying to drag anything that's in the lymph up to the lymphatic. The lymphatic system has its own drainage pathway. It's like, oh, I forget, like the lower part of the body drains up to here, I think, on the right side, and then the arm and the upper part of the body drains to the left. You can see a map of the lymphatic system online, and you can actually use that to guide your dry brushing. But generally speaking, most everything we're trying to pull it up into this lymphatic drainage system. Some of the big drainage pathways we have up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
So,
want, can you
yeah, go ahead.
speak on collagen? They want to know if it produces collagen. And I dry brush the face, Karen. I do. I dry brush my neck all the way to my face. And I will say Sauna Space has one of the best dry brushes because it's hard and it's like really I have one that's really crappy that I keep in my bathroom, but really good one that I keep theirs in my sauna and I do it. Why does my skin itch even
Yeah,
just
so yeah, let's knock these out one by one.
yeah.
So the brush that we send with the sauna that you can also buy separately is made of Tampico
Uh,
bristles. So
uh,
they're natural bristles. It's not plastic. So we really like that. It's teak wood, so it's pretty tough wood that's pretty water resistant and antimicrobial.
And one thing I'm just going to add about that face, that's amazing if your skin can
yeah.
tolerate that, Jenny. Um, for those who are sensitive, and just as a general recommendation, the face, there are actual face dry brushes. I have an aesthetics background, so
What's
I
the
wanted,
what's that sponge? The konjac sponge. So
right,
if you have really sensitive skin, you can use the
the
konjac sponge.
or
It's like a natural.
mhm.
Um, it looks like a sponge. It's made of some natural material they make in Japan, some kind of root vegetable.
You just want to make sure that you're not being too aggressive with the skin around your face
Yeah.
and your neck. Uh, you don't want to be making uh, little tears, and that's not in a medically forward way. That's like with intention. If you're just being reckless, is what I'm saying. You want to be
Yeah.
careful with your skin
But
and
yeah,
your neck.
you do. If your skin can tolerate it, people have different skin types. I have a pretty thick
Yeah,
skin.
it's a little
The
oily.
We have a lot of lymph right here, and then it drains down like this, and then there's a big pathway right here. So hitting all of that is just amazing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So yeah, another question from Kathleen. So why does my skin itch when I just in front of my light paddle?
Light panel,
My light
probably.
panel. So if you get itchy skin in the sauna, that's or when you're just sitting in front of the lights a little bit, that's a major sign of detox. So
Mhm.
and if you've ever, I don't recommend this, but if you use the sauna and actually don't shower afterward, your skin will be so itchy
Yeah.
because you have all these toxins and yucky things that you've gotten rid of and they itch. Um, so that can be a detox reaction or just toxins actually itching. It can also be what's called a detox or a healing reaction where you have toxins that are coming out. They're not quite out yet. Like they've come from a deep reservoir, a deeper cell, and they're getting close to the skin and they're getting out and the skin gets irritated. Some people get like rashes temporarily when they detox, when they use the sauna. So it's a real common thing and it should pass.
One thing that you said, Jenny, you were asking about collagen and elastin
Mhm.
production too. So the cool thing with the Sauna Space products, for those who don't know, not only do you have a sauna experience, so you're getting all the benefits of sauna when you have the full enclosure, you're also getting full spectrum light therapy benefits. So you see all the buzz around red light and near infrared. We have what we call the firelight spectrum, which is a full spectrum light and heat therapy. So there's a lot of literature showing benefits of red light and infrared for collagen and elastin production. That tends to decrease when we get in our 20s. So all the things that we can do to help support the skin. So that's more on a surface level. But to address kind of all of these questions at large, because people will ask these very like, does it help with this? Does it help with this? If you listen to what Brian said earlier about assisting the cellular function and cellular detoxification, it's basically helping support your cells do what they're designed to do better. So our bodies are designed to detox. Our cells help us do that. Our cells,
Our bodies make their own collagen.
yes.
And when we shine near infrared or red light on the cells, it increases collagen production. Collagen is not just in the skin, by the way. It's like all throughout the body and joints and other areas. So it's one of the most common materials actually in the body, the collagen protein. So we can take collagen, which also is can be wonderful and very helpful for people to consume collagen, but we can actually produce our own. And so we basically are enhancing that with the light therapy component of the sauna. But like Mila said, it's a holistic thing. We're beings of light, and inside, fundamentally, we produce energy with light. Our DNA emits light. The mitochondria is absorbing light and creating energy and and promoting healing in the cells. And it's not just about collagen. It's about the million things that the cell is designed to do really well when it's in its most optimal state. And because we're beings of light, we're supposed to be getting a lot of light every day, and we're supposed to be constantly cleansing and purifying ourselves. And there is no better way to purify the body than to support its innate purification processes. So I want to talk about the PureLayer, but like we got one more quick question here. So since our city water is so toxic, is there a particular filter you recommend for shower when rinsing? Yeah, ideally you have a whole house filter for the whole house, and you're filtering all the water that comes into the house with like a 3-stage, like a carbon and a Voc filter and the rest. That's not accessible for everybody, or maybe practical for everybody. So there are some really effective, very affordable options for filtering at the point of use, and for the shower, they're called KDF filters. So you can get these. Well, we're turning off our Amazon button, so you can get these on other websites online. But uh, you know, for like 50 or $100, you can get a filter that lasts a year, that you just screw it in on your shower. It's really, you just put it in on your own. It's super easy to use. And there's some that are better designed than others, but it's just dramatically reducing the petrochemicals and the chlorine and stuff that's in the water. So I actually don't have a whole house filter yet at my house. Recently moved into a newer place last year, so actually use a shower filter. And when I take a bath, I make sure to fill the bath with the shower, so it's all filtered. And so you can get these for your shower. You can actually get ones for your bath sink. So you're brushing your teeth, you're washing your face. You have a little filter that just screws in, and they're easy to use. And so for a very modest investment, you can do that there, and like at your kitchen sink, and have a totally filtered water experience at home without the whole house thing.
Yeah, for a fraction of the price until you're ready to make that investment.
Jill, I don't know what the name is, but if you type in KDF filter,
I can
then
also text it to you,
we'll
Jill.
put it in the comments. There are a number of options. The one I like is the one that's like a tall, skinny can that allows the water to filter a lot before it goes through. There's some of those where it's like a little pancake that the water goes through really fast and you don't get as much filtration. So it's basically the can shaped one that's kind of uglier,
Yeah, it's not as pretty, but it's more effective.
but more effective because the longer the water has to go through the filter, the more filter media there is, there's better filtration. So yeah, well, you're not supposed to order on
Not
Amazon, Jill.
till
It can
February
Not,
be
yeah,
1st. She
not till
has until
February.
February 1st.
Oh, okay. We're gonna do that next
for
month.
my
Yeah.
birthday. Can
Yes.
celebrate.
There you go.
So yeah, so let's just wrap up with this really cool new thing
Mhm.
that Sauna Space has come out with. So it's called the Pure Layer Collection, and it's for right now. It starts out as a custom made mat cover and a custom made stool cover for the sauna that's uniquely designed for our unique sauna that we have, our unique stool. So I did a lot of playing around with this actually for a couple years, and I feel like it should have come out a long time ago, but you know,
Yeah, we were working on this when we were in the apartment in Frisco.
Wow.
well, and really the first designs actually were even before that, like a couple years ago. So I started out with this towel that covered the stool and the whole sauna, and it looked like a Abraham Lincoln hat kind
Yeah.
of thing, and it was like this almost like a big octopus thing. And it was so ugly and impractical and hard to get in and out. So I was like, no, we need to separate it. We need to make a
Okay.
stool cover and a mat cover, and we want to protect the sauna. So you're using the towels to collect the sweat and then removing the towels after use so the sauna stays really nice and pristine. So I want it to be multiple layers, but if you have multiple layers of towels and they stay like this in the washing machine, they don't get clean, they don't dry,
Yeah.
and you can dry it forever and it won't get dry. So I eventually came up with this design where there's a 3-layer floor towel on the floor. That's the mat cover. And it's seamed on the front, but it's open on the sides and the back. And it closes on the back with these little coconut buttons, these little natural buttons. And so you have a 3-layer towel, and it's like a 700 GSM towel. So for those of you who know towels, it's like super fluffy, like those Turkish bath towels that are like super fluff. So it's very thick and absorbent. And when you need to wash it, you take the buttons out and it all comes apart. So you get a good wash and a good dry. And then and then with the stool towel, I wanted the same thing. I want tons of layers because that's actually where most of the sweat goes. It's like on the stool, drips off your body onto the stool. So I eventually just designed this like flower petal shaped 5-layer stool cover that has like a little elastic on it, and that's hidden, that's sewn in, so that again, when it comes apart, it comes apart and it looks like a flower, all these flower petals, and it washes well, it dries well, and it comes with a little organic cotton wash bag to wash it in, so that the towel doesn't get like too beat up. But when you're in there, you're sitting on 5 layers of towel. So not only is it super absorbent, it's also really it makes it really comfortable in there. It's like really plush, so super plush. And the material, I kind of went back and forth on this. I originally started with cotton. Cotton's great, especially if it's organic. But I actually, once I tested out bamboo, I realized how much more absorbent it is and also odor resistant that it is. And so, there's a debate in the towel industry, like what's the best towel material. But I ended up going with this natural bamboo fiber material it's more plush than a cotton. It's softer. It's actually less odor absorbent and
Yeah.
more antibacterial. And for all those reasons, like we're like, wow, this is it. And in our own in-house testing, like this is the way we're gonna go. So I ended up going with that. There's some of the parts of the towel that have little cotton banding to them for design reasons. That's organic cotton, but all of it is all completely, organic, natural, super absorbent, and also kind of resilient. You can actually, so let me tell you like the way I use it. So you put the mat cover on the floor, the stool cover on the stool, and you do your sauna session. And then I take the stool cover out immediately because that's usually soaked with sweat, but not on the stool because it's got so many layers. And I take that out and throw it in the laundry hamper, and I leave the lights on, and I go in the shower and shower. And when I'm doing that, any little amounts of sweat that got on the floor towel dry up. And when I'm done, I come, and the curtain's open, by the way. So it all airs out. It's super dry when I get back, and then I can turn the lights off. And this is completely safe to do this as long as the floor towel just remains on the floor. And in doing that, I only wash the floor towel, maybe like once a week or something. And I use it like I use it 4 or 5 days a week. So given that, we were like, okay, here's the floor towel, here's the mat towel, here's the stool towel. Let's put them together also in a bundle that is kind of optimal for most people. So the bundle is one mat towel and three stool towels that come together. And usually for most people, so you want one stool towel for each sauna session.
You could reuse it.
Some people, you can actually hang it up and reuse it. Some people do that. It depends. If you're a heavy sweater, you want to
Yeah.
If it's, do you want?
you want to launder it each time. Also, if you're a super heavy sweater, you might want to take your floor towel out and wash it more frequently than I do. There's instructions that come with it, like they give you the different scenarios, so it's all pretty straightforward. But you want to more or less have a stool towel for each time you use it, and it's uh, it was actually several years of development. I don't know why it took that long, but so many other things going on and projects all the time. But it looks beautiful. So it matches the floor, the chapstool to the floor perfectly. It sits snugly on the stool, so it's like a really clean look.
Yeah,
Because
Jenny has her own
I
bundle.
do.
oh, you just got your bundle.
Yeah. And
Oh,
listen, I used to put a towel on my seat because I would get it so crazy sweat, and then a towel underneath the seat. So
yeah,
I'm loving this. And I'm able to use so now I'm gonna do what you do. You leave it on after you leave it. Okay, I haven't done that. I'm gonna try that.
You still want to
For it,
make sure you take the seat
yes.
off as soon as you're done. And if it's not completely drenched and you feel like you can reuse it again, just hang it somewhere until your
Yep.
next use.
And put it back in.
And then yeah, Brian usually leaves the sauna lights on. Sometimes he'll take the mat and drape it over the stool so it's kind of
Okay.
elevated where the lights
Okay.
are. So it just
yeah. If you got a lot of sweat on the floor towel,
Yeah.
you can leave the lights on and drape it on top of the stool, so it's kind of in front of the lights. And then by the time you're done showering, it's all completely
It
dry. So
feels amazing. And I told Mila, like it feels like you're in a spa. Like
yeah.
the plush. It feels very plush.
awesome.
So
Thank you.
glad you're
I
loving
love it.
it. Well, was there
Yeah.
anything else that you wanted to ask in these last couple of minutes,
I
Jenny?
had on all my notes. You guys pretty much touched everything. The way I look at the sauna now, because I'm not in a yoga studio, I'm not doing anything else except for my gym workout. I'm not sweating. And that is and I believe in sweating, like detoxing, getting all, like I feel amazing after a sweat. So I tell people, like, if you're not sweating every day, if you're not, detoxing, get a sauna because that's the best thing you can do. And then go do your workout. Like that's the game changer for me to do both of those.
Yeah, yeah. You need to move your body for mobility, also to maintain like muscle mass.
Yes.
Especially when we get older. There's we can get sarcopenia, where
Yeah.
we just get
Yep.
shriveled, and it doesn't have to be that way. But the two go hand in hand. So when you strengthen the body and keep it flexible and mobile and limber, and cleanse it all the
Yeah.
time.
Exactly.
Well, where can our audience connect with you
Oh.
if they wanted to be a part of your community? You said you had a Facebook community. Obviously, we'll tag her here. She'll be in
Yeah.
Cloud's post.
Um, yeah, just Instagram is I'm probably there the most, and I'm coming out with a new app that will have like quick 10 to 15 minute muscle enhancing workouts because I don't believe women were ever taught to be comfortable in the gym like with lifting weights. So I really want to teach them to build their confidence. So just follow me on Instagram and ask questions. I will be on there. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for so much, Jenny. You've been wonderful.
Thank you,
I
Jenny.
hope it warms up for
Happy New
you.
Year and
Yeah.
stay warm.
Happy New
Happy New
Year.
Year.
We love
Okay,
you.
bye
Bye.
guys.
Take care, Jenny.